All right, third base. Let's do it.
All right, take over.
Third base.
It's where she shines.
I love third base.
Not me.
Why do I love third base? Because you can stand here like a hockey goalie.
And you don't have to think.
You do seriously.
You're like, oh, balls in my glove.
You seriously don't. When I tell people I played third base, they're just like, oh my God, you're probably so good. I'm like, man, I just played to my strengths.
Yeah.
Honestly, nobody on, nobody out. Where you can play in the baseline, you can play up. I always played up, especially right when I came from shortstop. This base right here was so weird to play next to. I always played 2 or 3 steps up, no matter what.
What if you have 3, 4, 5 up? Is it
3, 4, 5?
Nobody on, nobody out?
I still was in front,
okay.
And it is scary initially. And when I say initially, when you're moving from a middle to third, which I think is super common, especially when you're going from travel ball into college, or just short and third, those 2 positions together are super common, just like short and second are very common to kind of mix together. But initially, you're going to want to be back, but then, I don't know, having the base right there, you're just like, if that ball hits the base, you don't know what's going to happen. So I'd rather play a step or 2 up, even if that means I've got to react quicker, because balls that are coming off fast are actually very true spin. You're going to get backspin at you. They're not like fiddling out and being weird. So you're just, it's literally reaction time. And then if you don't get it, it's like, okay.
Yeah. Next.
Didn't get it. Okay. 2 outs. 2 outs. JT D'Amico at Washington, he was the one that was like, get your butt back. Why do you need to be up there? And that was a little bit of an adjustment, but that was when, definitely when there's not a slapper up, any hitter, you're behind the base.
And when you set up and like nobody on, nobody out, how many are you, like first base, how many steps off the line are you? What was comfortable for you?
What's comfortable for me is I would go, I was probably like here.
Because you take 1 step, you're in foul, or you're foul territory.
Yeah, I can swivel and get this. To be this far off, that is just taking balls away from. Jen Salling was my shortstop, and she was like a freak. So I was like, all right, I'm going to cover this. I'm going to cover it 100% of the time, and then she gets everything else, which is really nice, having that awareness.
And that, like you said, because if you have a shortstop who, I don't know, maybe they're just not as good at reacting, like you might come off a step. But your shortstop was studs, so you're like, you got it. You're good.
I didn't have any problem just going, all right, I'm going to get 100% of these balls. But in reality, how many balls are hit down the line? Not very many. You're going to get more towards the middle of the field. So, yeah, that would be a big thing. But, okay, great.
All right.
Playing righties versus lefties. Lefty balls are going to have some spin on them, so a little bit of tail, I guess. So I'm not really concerned on, like, getting hit in the face. Righties, you're just on your toes. I mean, I can't say anything other than how you practice your reaction. Coach Char was one of the first people, or the first person, to hit tennis balls at me. And she played third when she was at Washington, and she kind of said a little bit about, instead of being mostly on balls of your feet, when you're set, you want to be kind of midfoot, so you can react and be more, she used the term hockey goalie. Being able to go every angle and not just forward.
Do you think that's for third, or like, are you saying is that for third or all positions?
She said it for third, and I feel that at third mostly. But at short, you're going to go in all angles. But I feel like you have a little bit more time to react. Like if you set up and you're prep step and you're more on balls of your feet, you can take kind of a shift step and go. At third, sometimes you can't take that step. You're going to just have to either swivel or swivel off that foot and take 1 step angle.
Yeah. What's your last question? Because I know this is all, not last question, but next question. This is something that comes up a lot. So you're playing third, even if you have a stud shortstop, a ball is hit, maybe it's obviously not super fast, you're not going to get there, but it's like you know, average speed, and let's say it's straight up in between third and second, you can get there. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people, a lot of third basemen are like, I don't want to take away from the shortstop. And I always try and preach, which it is, such an easier, quicker throw, or you can get it in enough time, but your angle, you're already going this way. So it's easier for you. Now, yeah, shortstop, they have to charge in and then they have to go, but you can get it a lot quicker. And third baseman's just like, I don't want to step on any toes.
No, I don't care about that. If I am like sprinting as hard as I can, like that's probably not my ball. If it's going to tip off my glove, that's not my ball. But if I see the ball and I know it's in my range,
Like
I'm
even
getting the
if
ball.
you're, so yeah, so like if you're in front of me and this is where I'm playing and you get a ball directly in front of me, as a shortstop, I want you to get that.
Yes.
I don't want you to be
because
like,
you're going to
oh,
have
it's
to bust
yours.
your butt.
Yes.
It's just based on speed of the ball. Yeah.
So that's
I'm
just,
getting
yeah,
that every
third
time.
baseman, like don't be afraid to think, you know, you whatever you get, you get it.
Yeah, this is a game of speed and angles.
Right.
Like, if I'm here, I cut the ball off. That runner's halfway there. If I wait for the ball and I'm just like, okay, well, she's going to get it. She's a step away from the base.
Yeah.
All right, let's go bunts and steals, slappers. Sorry.
Yep. Slappers.
Slappers is basically bunt coverage for me.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. This is kind of the game within the game. I loved playing slappers as a third baseman because I would, even as like a more quiet person, you're letting them know your presence. You're up in their face because you're like also moving around because you don't want to advertise what they should do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're moving up, you're moving back, you're telling people what's going on because you're the person that's closest to them, and they're literally, some of them are deciding what they're doing based on where you're at.
Yeah.
So you're moving around, you're moving your feet. But yeah, based on that, I'm in my bunt coverage 5 steps up, even more. And if they hammer it at me, then good for them, but most of them just do not.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, they just don't.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, should I hit a line drive at her or just do what I have practiced doing?
Yeah.
Okay, steals. I have nothing to do with those regular steals. I will
Now-
go back and cover.
Knowing I, as a shortstop, and this might be communication part, you know, I have to shade up the middle. So you really have that 5-6 hold. Do you come off the line a little bit more with the runner on first?
Yes. Yes.
Let's just say
Yes.
normal hitter, you know, not a slapper.
Yeah.
Because you know this is, like, that's really open now because I have to shade.
I would say yeah. So if I know there's a runner on first, I'll probably be
And maybe
like
a step, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
half a step, and or just knowing like that you're a little
Yeah.
bit that way. Yes. Okay. My responsibility as a third baseman, third base. This is my spot. Especially on, we talked about this earlier, but who covers third when I field a bunt? If I actually am throwing the ball to first, catcher is ideally supposed to
With the
come
runner
over
on
here.
first?
With the runner on first. Catcher's supposed to come over here.
Yep. 'Cause I'll be,
Um,
shortstop will be at second.
And even after I throw the ball, I've got to sprint my butt back here because if something crazy happens and the ball gets by, then there's nobody at home. So I've got to kick that catcher out. But that's kind of the only tricky thing that could happen, and so many things have to go wrong for that to even matter. I think that's third.
Picks.
Picks.
Before you get into picks,
Yes.
I just have a question.
Yes.
Wouldn't it be faster if you covered home, catcher stays on third, or do you want catcher to be at home base?
Yeah, yes. So if I feel, because I'm charging in and I'm feeling the ball coming in, there's no threat for home anyways, because that runner is going there. The next base that needs to be covered is here. So yes, catcher's going to go here. And then I'm going to kick her out so she can go back.
And two, at least from what I was taught, is the catcher has the gear. So if we want the catcher, if we can help it, to be at home because they're protected.
Yes. And
Great question.
that is-
Truly.
that is a good
Because
question.
like, why wouldn't? Yeah, you're there. Why don't you just stay there?
Yeah. Also, the throws and all that. I guess I don't know.
You're the third baseman, and
I
the
would-
catcher's the catcher. So go to your respective bases.
Yeah. Go to your
Go
spot.
home.
Get
Yeah.
out of here.
We also, when we do picks, we'll talk. We forgot shortstop. Just picked
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Picks. I guess last thing. Third base. You're going to be just picking this way. I never ever got behind the runner and slammed down. I'm going
Because
to
you
be
always
to the
played in
side.
front. Yeah.
I would be to the in front, drop step, pick, mostly hit the runner in the back.
Because you're catching as you're moving, like everything is one motion, so you're not already set. Because like you said, you're running back, so everything's got to be fluid one motion.
Yeah, it's pretty much drop step and
Yep.
get them. And then if there was ever a pitch out and shortstop's coming behind, that pretty much never happened.
We did, and
But-
we that was kind of, especially when and the reason we did it, because the third baseman was up, or I think the third baseman was up, and this runner was taking a very big lead, so we wanted to kind of like,
Bait her almost.
yeah, bait her a little bit. So same thing, the pickoff at second base, the catcher would call it, like let's say taps her helmet. As the pitcher is starting, I'm creeping over just a little bit, and I'm making sure I'm really far back so the third baseman or the third base coach can't see me. As the pitcher is going to pitch, I'm coming up from behind, and I'm getting here to tag that runner. But that's pre-pitch movement, literally.
Yes, literally.